Gene Roddenberry was the creator of Star Trek. And when it became so popular, he decided to keep control of it. He wanted control of it so he could make sure that certain things happened or didn't happen. One of the things he didn't want happening was he did not want the crew members to come in conflict with each other. He wanted them to live in harmony. And this drove the writers crazy because they couldn't have any conflicts between the crew members. And if you're at the Abbey for very long, you hear the story of how, at the beginning, the people who were living here were having a conflict or an argument about how and when to remodel the kitchen. And then Venerable Chodron walks in and says, hey, if you're not going to do this in harmony, there's no sense having the Abbey here. And then she promptly left for a 2-week teaching tour. Fortunately for all of us, the people who she said that to figured out what she was talking about. And so we actually try to live in harmony here. So what is harmony? Well, if you look in the dictionary, it says a combination of simultaneously sounded musical notes to produce chords and chord progressions having a pleasing effect. In other words, different things coming together, and it makes a good sound. So at Sravasti Abbey, we are taught 6 harmonies to live by. To be harmonious physically, verbally, mentally, to be harmonious in the precepts we keep, the views that we hold, and that we share the requisites we receive. So to live harmoniously physically, that means we don't harm each other. We don't beat each other up. We don't kick each other, scream, or punch each other or slap each other. It also means that we take care of each other when we're sick. And so we can see that caring can be seen as a privilege, because bodhisattvas need to take care of human beings in order to become Buddhas, right? So living harmoniously together verbally, this is a little bit more difficult than living together physically. Why? Because we occasionally let slip with our speech, We put people down, make them feel guilty, lie, blame others, talk behind their backs. We try not to do it, but it happens. But we need to, at the Abbey and at every place else, we need to develop the ability to apologize to each other, to forgive each other. And if you actually work at it, it becomes easier with practice. So living harmoniously mentally, that's even harder than physically and verbally. A lot of times we believe, if I think it, it must be right. What kind of logic is that? We think everybody has to think exactly like me for it to be harmonious. But where in this world can we go where even one person is going to think exactly like us? We don't think exactly alike the same way every year or month or day. Even within our own minds, we don't agree with ourselves all the time. But we work with everybody has differences of opinion. At the Abbey, part of our morning saying is, while working with others, differences in ideas and ways of doing things may arise. These are natural and are a source of creative exchange. Our minds don't need to make them into conflicts. Our minds don't need to make them into conflicts. Different views give us the opportunity to look at things a different way. It opens up more paths, and as we become more informed, we can make the better decisions. So by living harmoniously, mentally, whatever, we appreciate and support each other. We rejoice in each other's good qualities. Harmonious in the precepts. We all train in the same way. We follow the same rules and guidelines that are basically there to keep us out of trouble and help us along the path, hopefully. They're to help us overcome our self-centered mind and our self-centered attitude, which is in fact the enemy that gets in the way of us becoming awakened. And living harmoniously in the precepts brings peace to the community, and we support each other. Harmonious in views. We all have the same worldview. We know that happiness and suffering comes from our own mind. Liberation is possible. and we try to create bodhicitta. It gives us a lot of strength, energy, and support. And we know that ethical conduct is needed in our lives to help become awakened, and that helps wherever we are in the world. And the last one is harmonious in welfare. We share the food, shelter, medicines, clothing, and we share them equally so that we all benefit equally. Now, most people in this world are not living at Sravasti Abbey. They're living out there, and right now they have to live with COVID. And so they're crammed into one little small place, and they're with each other all the time. So what can they do to live harmoniously with each other? Well, one of the things they can do, in addition to what I just said, is celebrate life, and celebrate life with a passion, and live life with a passion. You know, your chances of being born as a human being are very, very small. And yet, here you are. We received the most beautiful gift of all, life as a human being with the mind to go with it. Celebrate your life every day. Live it with passion and excitement. Wake up in the morning and smile. Take a deep breath and says, it's another great day to be alive. And then to do the three, may I not harm any sentient being with my body, speech, and mind. May I only be of benefit to others with my body, speech, and mind. May I generate better bodhicitta. May that profound motivation direct the actions of my body, speech, and mind. Show gratitude and appreciation. Showing gratitude and appreciation to the people you're around nourishes that relationship. It lets them know how important they are to you, how much better your life is having them near you. They're gifts. Gratitude and appreciation are your gifts to give in return for all the things that you get. Learn how to communicate. If you have a pet, you communicate with them all the time, and yet they don't talk. They don't speak words, but you're communicating all the time. You can tell what they're thinking. You send a message every moment when you're in the presence of someone. Even if you're not speaking with each other, your body is speaking, and they're receiving that message. And if you aren't communicating, then it's perhaps because you're too busy doing something else. But you really need to communicate with each other. Have compassion. If you want to lead a harmonious life, you must, above all else, have compassion. Have compassion for yourself and have compassion for others. Accept people as they are and listen with the intention of finding out new things. Understand and really see the person in front of you. Sometimes the person in front of you is you. See yourself, acknowledge that life is tough on you sometimes, and give your mind a hug. Forgive yourself when you're making mistakes. Accept your limitations. When you give your mind a hug, do it free from judgment, blame, or guilt. You and those around you are only human. Treat yourself with respect. This will teach others how to treat you. Talk nicely to and about yourself. You're the guardian of who you are and who you want to become. And stay positive. Almost everything that happens in life has a positive side. Search for that side of things and be confident that whatever life puts in front of you, you'll find an answer to it. Look closely and see how many possibilities and opportunities are open for you. Pay attention, notice, and acknowledge the bright side of your life. So does living in harmony always work? No. We're Buddhists, not Buddhas. But we use the teachings of the Buddhas, like the 8 worldly concerns and avoiding the 10 non-virtuous actions, to help us live harmoniously. We engage in ethical conduct, fortitude, joyous effort. So all of these harmonies start with our own mind. And we train our mind. That's what trying to become a Buddha is all about. But you don't have to live in a community of monastics to do this, or even Starfleet.